Hi, welcome to SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Please subscribe right now. Leave any comments in the comment section, like and share the video as well. NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3. This is the predictions for you right now. Let me know your feelings of what you think will happen on the matches this Saturday in the comments below. Normally got a good record with these NXT Takeovers, but actually I think that a couple of these matches could go either way on this particular card. So it'll be very interesting as we go through the card for you right now and break it down. One of those matches that I think could go either way is Johnny Logano versus Andrade Cien Almost. Just a throw together match, really. Not really a lot gone on here, but what makes this interesting is Andrade Cien Almost's new manager, Zelita Vega. That business relationship seems pretty interesting going forward. Of course, Andrade picking up a win recently over No Way Jose with her help, and she also was trying to cut out his sort of tranquilo kind of attitude, his sort of relaxed attitude of what he's like in the ring when he ties himself up in the ropes, when he sort of just does those little poses, and they weren't working for him against No Way Jose, and then it turned out that in the end he cut out the rubbish and actually picked up the victory. So will the same happen against Johnny Gargano? Well, it's interesting. It's wondering where Gargano will go forward from here, but I think he's so over with the NXT crowd that potentially he doesn't really need a win here at Brooklyn for him to go forward, where I think Andrade probably needs to win more. Andrade has a bad record on takeovers. He tends to lose on most takeovers. I think that he's been on past his debut when he picked up the victory. So I'm going to say here that I think Andrade will pick up the victory, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this go either way. Next, we'll look at what I think will be the match of the evening and possibly could even kick off the event because it's that hot of a match. Aleister Black versus Hideo Itami. These two, very similar style, brutal kicking, striking abilities. I think this has got potential of being a match of the year candidate. I really do. I think throughout all of wrestling, throughout all of WWE, New Japan, put it all together, this match here is going to be a must-see encounter. I'll be very disappointed if it's not at least a 4 out of 5 star encounter. Perhaps even one of those 4.75 Meltzer reviews. You never know. But for me, Aleister Black has to go over on this particular occasion, and I think that it's going to be a great encounter, and I can't wait to see it. Next, we'll look at the NXT Tag Team Championships, the Authors of Pain versus Sanity. Definitely a wet dream if you're actually keeping up with SCW and Georgie. Cannot wait to see this particular match. Certainly a rivalry he's wanted to see for a long time. It certainly has been okay to see it play on NXT TV, but I think when we come to the big stage here, that the Authors of Pain will go over. I think it's got potential to be a good match, but I think this could be a one and done. I don't see it possibly going further than one takeover at the moment, unless they add more tag teams into the mix after this takeover. But for me, Authors of Pain definitely will retain because I think some belts need to be retained in this event, and I think there will be a title change or two. Which takes us over then to the NXT Women's Championship, Asuka versus Ember Moon. Asuka has been an incredible champion. Over 500 days the title reign has been. She's surpassed New Day. She's surpassed the Goldberg undefeated streak. But now it's time. Ember Moon, first time, didn't pick up the victory against Asuka. Asuka did walk away when it was Orlando. This time, I think the belts will change hands. Ember Moon has been groomed for well over a year to be the woman that will beat Asuka for that championship, and now it feels like the time is right. So expect Ember Moon to win here, possibly even win a rematch, and then we could possibly see Asuka come to the main roster towards the end of the year or even early next year. But either way, I think now its time is right. Brooklyn is where these magical moments are meant to happen. This is where the title change should happen for me. Ember Moon, new NXT Women's Champion. Now, last but certainly not least is the NXT Championship, Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre. It's going to be very interesting to see how this one plays out because for me, I'm going to do a separate video on how I would book this. But I may even give it away in this video. We'll have to wait and see as we start diving into it. Put it this way, Bobby Roode, for me, has been a fantastic champion. But again, I think it's time for that belt to change. And I think we could get more character development if we see Bobby Roode lose the belt. So if it happens to be a one-on-one, Drew McIntyre and Bobby Roode, which as advertised, I expect that Bobby Roode will lose the championship and Drew McIntyre will pick up the belt. But what is going to be the key thing in this is Roderick Strong. Now, there are lots of rumours going around that we could get an ROH sort of faction put together, and this could actually maybe implement itself maybe into NXT TV. So what a better place to debut it than at TakeOver. Adam Cole is signed with WWE, official news, Adam Cole Bay. So it would seem to make sense for him to be in that faction, as well as that we've seen Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, who once were a tag team in ROH as well. They could be a part of that also, and that could be a strong faction there, an ROH style faction within NXT. So it'll be interesting to see if they have some sort of part to play in the main event. Will it be for Roderick Strong to cost Bobby Roode, or will it be the fact that he wants to get his hands and take the belt off Bobby Roode? This is what's going to be interesting to see. So I predict that will be the finish of TakeOver, with this faction standing tall, standing strong. And if it was me personally, I'm going to give the fantasy booking now, because do you know what? I can't help myself. This is what I would do. I would have Drew McIntyre mystery taken out at the start of the night. We say start, but after the first match we see backstage. We then see doctors do tests on him. Is he going to be able to compete in the night? He's not going to be able to compete. There's no way that he can compete. So that way Roderick Strong, who didn't lose to Drew McIntyre, that way can step in and face Bobby Roode. And because that's the big rivalry, really, that's been going on for so many weeks on NXT, we know that it's built for a future triple threat match there. It's there. We maybe can expect to see that at the Survivor Series takeover, Strong, McIntyre and Bobby Roode. Well, in this case, it turns out now to be Strong and Roode instead. We then see that invasion take over and take Bobby Roode out. Matters have been taken into Strong's own hands because he couldn't get his way before TakeOver to get his hands on Bobby Roode. Security, all sorts of things stopping him. This way then Strong gets his hands on Roode, has a new faction behind him, has the belt as well, so gets the satisfaction. Almost could be like a Radicals slash could be like a Nexus. It could be a heel turn. It might not be. I'm not quite sure how that would necessarily play out. But what I would say going forward is that Strongman is the champion, has revenge over Roode, but of course it's not finished because Bobby Roode will want that belt back. It will evolve Bobby Roode's character as well. I think Glorious has got so much more to give than what we're currently seeing with Bobby Roode. We've seen this almost character by Roode, as great as it is, it's been the same for about a year, so it needs a little tweak here or there if you ask me. Of course, Drew McIntyre then doesn't get his match, and of course then we'll be looking to get revenge on the people that took him out, who of course were Roderick Strong or Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. And then we can see multiple matches put together taking place as we go towards the next takeover. And for me, that triple threat match would make sense. And that is how I would book it. I've added 2 for 1 in there for you. But if the match goes as it probably should and probably will, which will be Drew McIntyre and Bobby Roode, I am going to go for a Drew McIntyre victory. Although I don't think that Bobby Roode and Roderick Strong is finished yet. Although necessarily that doesn't really need a title to decide that feud, because that feud has got more personal, as Roderick Strong has said over on the microphone in NXT, that this is more than just a championship. So that's everything for me. Some fantasy booking as well as predictions there for you. I hope you enjoy NXT TakeOver and let me know your feelings in the comments below. Do you like the fantasy booking? Do you agree with the predictions? Let me know right now in the comments section. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Would love to hit 200 subscribers, and keep an eye out. SummerSlam predictions coming for you as well. But that's all from me. Thank you for watching. This is SCW, the wrestling channel, here on YouTube.com. Take care.